get my scrunchie, couldn't I?
You could.
Yeah, you could put your scrunchie on, yeah.
Wear my scrunchie.
Yeah.
Saucy. It's a bit too... If it was like the other night when it was like, what, 30 degrees trying to sleep, I'd be sat here in my fucking bikini, but it's raining, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, this weather, isn't it? Like, I've got to get more steps in a minute. I'm going to go outside to do them instead of the treadmill because I'm sick of the treadmill. Sick to death of it. I've got a bloody blister on my toe from that treadmill.
Bloody treadmill.
Right on the baby toe.
How come you've got lots of steps to do? You just busy day?
It's just honestly one of those days, like I said to Romana earlier, like everything is just like compounded today.
Yeah.
And I was just like almost had a panic attack, and I was like, right, so let's do it bit by bit, and I've done it. But I'm still going to go out and get my steps done.
Yeah.
I never go to bed without getting my steps done. Ever.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I get them done. There's no excuse. Absolutely none.
And that's why you're awesome.
Thanks.
No problem, babes. I got you.
Stop it.
Thanks. What's going on with you guys then? What's appertaining?
I'm still mini cutting. Well, I'm now mini cutting.
Oh, so how long are you doing that for?
He reckons we want to hit 160-ish.
What, now?
Something like that. And I'm 173 this morning.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's come off quick, hasn't it? What was your starting weight again?
I looked it up today, 180.
That has come off.
Oh, quick.
Nice.
Really
Strong.
quick. You can see it as well.
Yeah, you can. The moon face is no longer a moon face.
I got like lines. Most people, they're diet lines. They're wrinkles. They're actual wrinkles.
Oh, look at Dad.
Yeah.
So
Face
beautiful.
creases. I've got...
So Rubal's got the most.
We've got matching face wrinkles.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Matching face wrinkles. Huh?
I said they're matchy. You've got the Rubal wrinkles.
Yeah.
Ruby.
Squidgy faces all round.
And Romana was just saying you've had a calorie drop as well, haven't you, today?
Yep. So I'll do my update tomorrow, but this will be out. You will already... What are you doing?
Oh, really?
This will be out on Friday.
Yeah, so he took my joy, Sarah.
Why? Dark chocolate.
He took my joy. No, that was out ages ago. No, my oats, morning oats.
Mate. First world problems.
I know.
All of them.
I was saying to Romana, he took my the thing that did it for me. I have I love spaghetti bolognese. After each show, my mum always makes me a fresh spaghetti bolognese. It's my favourite.
Does she put carrots in it?
No. That's fucking weird.
My mum puts carrots in it, and it's just fucking weird.
That's almost like a stew.
Carrots are the least Italian vegetable, I think, ever.
Yeah, why the fuck would you put
I like
carrots?
Russians.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it ruins it for me.
Me and
She does
your
it with
mum,
lasagna.
we need
as
to have
well.
words. Me and your mum do. That is not right.
Yeah.
That's completely weird. But she makes me spag bowl, and that was in my diet, wasn't it? Romana couldn't even believe it for what, up until about 5 weeks ago, and then that went. But I love it, but I didn't. I was like, yeah, it's gone. But I mean, it will be there at the end. And when you start seeing all the shreds coming in, you're like, the spag bowl can do one because I got veins in my legs.
You're looking awesome, Debs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bang on, mate.
Thank you. I've had people message me that are like, "This is your best look yet, best prep yet," and I said it's literally down to going with Tom for sure. Having both of you guys around me. I'm not just saying that. You have, but it does. It's honestly, it's true, isn't it? It's surrounding yourself with people with the same mindset and actually where you want to be and be with pros.
And it's that relatability, isn't it? Because I don't know, like, I went and saw my friend, my friend Vicky looked after Ruby yesterday, and I've pitched up as they're sat down eating pizza, and bless her, Vicky's like, I've known her since I was like 9, and although she doesn't understand the bodybuilding thing, she tries to understand it, and she's like, oh, you're dieting, aren't you? But, like, trying to explain it to people at work is a bit like, no, I can't have that.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, just one thing won't hurt.
Yeah.
But it's that case, isn't it? You get almost, especially in like now, like 3-4 weeks out, you don't want to explain it to people. You just want to get on with it, don't you?
Yeah.
And then it's almost like, but why? And you tell them why, but they can't understand. And it's not the fact that, you know, eating a piece of eating a piece of chocolate probably wouldn't hurt you, but it's that thing we spoke about before. Like once you start, you get a taste for it, and then you can't stop.
That's it.
Yeah. I always find people at work want to touch my food as well, which I find.
Or the worst one is when they lean in, they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And they like sniff it, and you're like, "Fuck off."
You're like, you know what,
Yeah.
Karen? It's the same thing I've been eating for the past
Yeah.
like 12
Yeah,
13
Karen.
weeks.
And also, I'm going to put that in my mouth and swallow it, and you've just put your face in it
No.
with potentially your halitosis.
Do you know what you should do next time someone does that to like does it to you? You let them touch your food and just sit there and just think, right, I'm going to get you back. And when they bring across, like, because they always have like what a sandwich or some type of
noodle.
pastry, just come along like they're doing Scary Movie 2 and go, my jams, and stuff your hand in it.
Just be like, right, so you've touched my food. This gives me an automatic right to touch your eyeball.
No, absolutely not. Did you see what she put on the group chat the other day? I knew if I said something, she was going to do that. I knew one of you two were going to do that.
What was it?
I can't remember what it was that we spoke about. What was it that brought up the eye thing?
It was something about phobias. What we have a phobia of. And then you said you got a phobia of eyeballs. And I was like, what, this?
Oh, no, honestly, is she gone?
Yeah, she's gone.
Yes.
It's so bad. I'll be watching a film and it gets to the point, like if I'm having a bad day with it as well, if sharp objects come up on the screen, it's like a horror film, or there's anything to do with eyes, I'm like, oh, I'm like, no, and I get like a throbbing in my eyes, and I'm like
that with teeth.
I'm like that with teeth. Did I tell you about the guy I went to who broke his jaw in like 3 places?
I think you did tell me about him.
He was pissed, and he's there talking, and it was like a Mexican wave. I was like, oh. And this bit was like coming forward, like some sort of ventriloquist dummy. Yeah, that was fun. I was like, just stop talking. Just.
I know you're like it with teeth, because when I had my wisdom teeth out, you were proper sympathetic, weren't you? Because I obviously swelled up like a god. I look like bloody McNamara out Family Guy. Like,
that had to have been horrible.
It was disgusting. I would have much rather had something else done.
Yeah. I'd much rather have anything else than go to the dentist.
Yeah, fuck that.
Do you know, last time I went to the dentist for just general hygienist, I went in, and it was a different dentist, because obviously it's really difficult to get an appointment now, isn't it? I went in, sat down. This one was like, what are you having done today? I was like, just a general clean, hygiene, and a de-stain. So I'm sat there, and I kid you not, this woman fucking soaks me. You know, they've got an assistant that sucks out the water and all the debris that could be your teeth. She's sat there doing nothing, just there on one side, and they're squirting off all the stuff, right, and just descaling and whatnot, and it's just dripping down my face, like, oh, sorry. I'm like, stop saying sorry and get that hose on there and suck it out. And it was just like, oh, sorry. And that was like 80 quid. I was like, so I've just paid £80 to have you basically spray my face with water.
That's the worst bit. Like, I have to pay for my torture at the end of it. Normally an extensive amount.
Fucking joke.
I did, I'll go through it in a bit, but I did a question box on my Instagram about the stupidest things that you've had in prep.
Oh, yeah.
And I was obviously going to get you guys to do some of yours.
The stupidest things you've heard or done.
We could do
Bear
both.
in mind, I managed to flood my bathroom last night.
Bro. I was laughing at that so much.
So I was chatting training programs with Dan, because that was the big announcement from my last week check-in update, was that Dan's taking over my training. Shout out. And we were talking training, and the bath was running, and he sent me a link of something to read about hip glute bridges. So I was engrossed reading that, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm running a bath. And that's when I went in. And of course, instead of turning the tap off, my go-to was to video it first.
Yeah.
You're like, but... Yep. That's enough now.
Done enough. Film it.
Yeah, good on.
So Dan, we're going back onto that. So obviously we'll go through updates. So Dan, I've called him bombastic, haven't I?
Bombastic.
Bombastic.
Yeah.
Dan
So Dan currently coaches my mate Nat, who is just fucking insane. And we train together when I'm not feeling too old and having to get into bed too early. They normally, like him and his mate Ed, normally train at like 7:30, which by the time they finish is past my bedtime. But if I'm feeling like super energized, I'll go and train with them. And I quite like their style. Get on well with Dan. And it was just like, I've been training high volume the whole time I've been training bodybuilding. Let's try mixing it up a little bit. So I'm waiting on my program with bated breath, very excited. But yeah, that's my excitement to combat the other thing that happened this week.
Yeah.
That's obviously we're gonna talk.
Should we just rip the Band-Aid off?
I say we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about
obviously, I've just been on Bash Bros and we hit it pretty hard, to be fair, and I was pretty like open and honest about my thoughts and feelings. So I probably said too much, but I don't really give a shit.
So to start off with, I think I've had a lot of messages. So this is like saying it instead of replying to those messages. It's not Two Bros that made that decision, and it's not Two Bros, it's not Ian, it's out of his hands. It's the IFBB. I'm not sure who. Have you managed to find out who it was, Sarah?
Not really any idea. To be honest,
probably hiding from the British WPD women at the moment.
I mean, it'd be good, wouldn't it, to see how, I think from an athlete's perspective, and obviously spectators and those that are actually very much into bodybuilding, it'd be good to know how they come about the decision, what the criteria is that they go through, and how they basically come to that decision would be cool.
Lots of people have their theories, don't they? I mean, I've had people say to me about, oh, well, it's your WPD pro debut, it's Sarah's pro debut, they don't allow people to pro debut at the Arnold, and I'm sat there thinking, well, Donks, he's only just won his pro card in men's physique. I don't know if he's got another show beforehand, so that would theoretically be his pro debut. Heidi from Figure, she won hers at the Ben Weider, as well as a dude from Classic. They're all Brits on the list that haven't, as far as I'm aware, correct me if you're wrong, haven't actually done a pro debut. So that's got to be bollocks.
And obviously people are like, oh, it's Instagram likes. And I was like, no, it's not, because the girl from Britain / Italian girl from Britain, she's only got 4,000 followers. So can't be that.
No, so that's that. She only had, when the list was released, she only had 2.5. Which was less than my measly 3.5.
But there's quite a few of the Figure girls as well that have got invites, and they've not got a lot of followers either.
So I suppose
I had a look at those.
I want to say from my perspective, I'm not pissed that I didn't get it, because I can quite clearly see why I didn't get it. They have no idea how I'm going to line up on a WPD stage. All you've got is where I jumped in and did it at the British in 2020, and I was definitely Figure there. So I can totally understand that. My disappointment is the lack of British representation in that list compared to the other lists. Yeah. Every other list had a minimum of 3 British competitors on it.
And it's not like we don't have
WPD has 1. Sorry?
I said it's not like we don't actually have the British women's physique, because there are, and there's so few.
And looking at one.
And and there's so few of you guys. Well, I'll say you guys because you're pros. I'm not yet pro, but there's so few of us. It would have been cool to see, women's physiques in the Arnolds. It's the first year women's physiques in the Arnolds. It's been held in the UK. It just would have been nice to have more British athletes on stage, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's my biggest disappointment. And I know it's the Arnold, but it's still the Arnold in the UK. Where's the representation?
Like Dan was saying, Dan McNabb was saying, like, if it's over in the States, they're going to put more USA competitors in, right? Because they're going to put them at the forefront of their minds because they're their people. And then people will say, yeah, but it's still an international show. Yes, it's still an international show, but it's on UK soil. So you would think that they would push you a little bit, push the UK athletes a little bit more.
And as I said, every other category had at least 3 British competitors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my issue with it.
I think as well, because obviously you guys had, particularly Sarah as well, because you were going to do a full off season this year, weren't you, Ray? And Sarah's going to compete this year anyway. But when the news was released that, you know, the Arnold's is now going to allow women's physique at the, you know, that was amazing news for us, wasn't it? And then it's like to have the carrot dangled and then taken away like that again. It's just kind of like, you know, why? Like it would, like I said, it would be good if we had some type of idea of how and why it's chosen, and you know, there's some athletes that you looked at, the women's physiques that competitors that applied, and you looked at some of them. It's not me being harsh, and you could see, right, yeah, clearly they're not ready to step on that stage. And there are some that you look at and you're like, why aren't they on? Why? You know, they stand up in the lineup.
I'm still making that transition. So for me, I'm in my head, I'm still like, I can see why I don't think I'm big enough. But Sarah, it's like Gemma Lancaster
in
as
my
well.
mind, I had you both, not because you're my friends, I had you both on there. And like you said, it might, for you, Ro, it might have been that you've like not done like a show as a women's physique competitor yet because you've just transitioned. But for Sarah, particularly with how prevalent she's been, you know, you've been women's physique from day dot, haven't you?
I think
so.
That's what upset me the most was because of the impact that I had last year on the scene. Like something I forgot to say on the other podcast was it's a great lineup. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking that away from the women that are on there, not at all. They're, you know, but when I made the impact that I did last year, and I got told I made a good impact by hundreds of people, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm in for this. Like, I'm almost guaranteed. Well, in my mind, I thought I was going to be one of the top picks, and then obviously not. And I think that's why I was like, I was so sure. And then obviously the list got released, and I just burst into tears, to be frank, because you know I was that sure that I was going to get it, and then you see that there's only one British girl, and it's like, why are you not giving us the opportunity as British girls to stand on such a prestigious stage? I mean, it's all well and good them saying, oh yeah, but there's 26 other countries that WPD's in. Not all of us can fucking travel. Like, not all of us can fucking afford to get there. Like, and this is what I was saying on Bash Bros, is I was like, look, like, you know, if you're a new pro and you want a pro debut, you have no choice, because if you can't afford it, then you can't go anywhere. So it's all good. It's all good in saying, oh yeah, there's 26 shows. We can't. I'm very lucky enough to have saved money to go and travel to the States. But like, if I didn't, I would be stuck in Europe. And if I couldn't afford Europe, then I'm stuck here in the UK, and there's no WPD shows in the UK.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I mean, it's the two shows that I did last year. Financially, I was in a bit of a hole after those, because you think you're budgeting and you think you're allowing, and then, oh, my prep brain didn't really think that I had to get a PCR test before I came back into the UK from Poland. 80 quid down the toilet. Stuff like that. And that's like before you even try and, you know, you're on prep. You can't just go, oh, I'll walk from X, Y to, you know, you can't just, you need the funds for public transport, and then trying to work that out. I mean, I'm amazed that I didn't get lost in Budapest.
I don't know how you do it, because I was talking to you today about, I'm not going to talk about it on here. I'll talk to you, sorry, about it later. But that's something I've got coming up. And I said to you, I'm panicking. I'm like, fuck, I've got to do da-da-da-da-da, and it's going away somewhere. And I'm like, I don't know how you would do that on your own. Did you do that? You did that on your own, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Poland and Budapest on my Todd, because it was, if you weren't like vaccinated and what have you, you couldn't go.
It's nuts, isn't it?
But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, it's still like, it's weird. Like, I'm still in that moment where I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a lie. Maybe that's just like a fake list. You know what I mean? Like, when you're telling yourself, like, you know, this is really dark, but when someone passes away and you're like, they're coming back. It's like, obviously it's not on the same level as death, but like, oh no, it's a fake list. I'll be on the list.
It's bodybuilding, Tara. It is.
Like, it's our life.
And I'm like, oh, but I'll be on there. And then obviously I remember that I'm not on there, and then I just get sad again. So, yeah.
And then there's the whole like wild card carrot.
I don't know about that.
I was talking to Tom about it on Thursday, and I was like, "What? So we meant to just diet continuously in the chance we might get a wild card?" And I've sort of made the decision: we'll keep this as a mini cut, because I mean, if I wasn't on the list, I'm not going to be. Well,
I assume that I think when you get invited, you get an email that says you're invited. And I'm assuming that they've already picked their wild card if there is one, so they already know they just release it later. And if it is going to be someone, it's going to be. I was speaking to Gemma Lancaster about this. That Anne lady that won the Europa Pro last year. I can't remember her name though. Her Instagram's like ALM Body or something like that. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. Yeah, she's got the world's massivest glutes. Yeah, it'll be her. Even though she's qualified for the O, she'd be a fucking great wild card. But, you know, it's just like... Yeah, I think I'm still going to go and watch.
Yeah, we'll go and watch.
I don't know. It all sort of depends on...
I'll be like 2 weeks out, but I'll still just sit there and be a skeleton.
I'll be fine.
Will you be fat by then, Debs?
I hope so. I hope so. Well, if not, I'll be because there's only 2 more opportunities this summer, isn't there? So July to get my pro card, and if not, then it's the amateur, isn't it?
Yes, you're not going to do. Arnold's a bit of a push. To be fair, it's a bit far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to pull back up and then pull back down again, but very almost maintain. I reckon kind of maintenance. So
it's a hard one to maintenance stage ready though, isn't it?
Yeah. We will see. But
it's just been one of those weeks, and then I was struggling with the fact that I haven't been picked for the Arnold, so am I even good enough to pro debut? And then you get all these things popping up in your head, and you're like, oh, I haven't been picked. Is that because I'm not good enough? Is that but we never know why we've not been picked, because it's not out there, and you don't know. Because I was speaking to Connor about it, and he was like, oh, just message someone. I was like, I don't know who can I message to ask. Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone gave me a valid reason, like, look, sorry, you haven't pro debuted or whatever, I'd be like, okay, fair. But because I don't know, I'm like, am I good enough? Like, did they just not pick me because I'm not good enough? Or it's a tough one because I can't get over it because I don't know why I didn't qualify for it.
It's really hard, isn't it? And your thoughts that snowball.
Exactly. It'd just be good for you to know how, like I said, how they actually come across a decision and why they've chosen the athletes they have and why they didn't pick. You know, it's almost like closure, isn't it? To know why. I wouldn't say you're not good enough to pro debut. Of course you are. Like, you had an original plan before you set out to do that. You know, that would have just been, amazing to go to the Arnold. Of course it would have. But you've got your original plan, which you're going to smash. And the ultimate plan, anyway, is to get to the A, right?
That's the plan. The plan, Rooney.
Exactly. So you stick to the plan. Smash the shit out of it.
It'll be good to watch. I mean, I know quite a few people doing the amateur, so that'd be cool to watch, and then just see what the WPD girls do. Because I know there's quite a few of the good Olympians on there, which is quite cool to watch. So that'd be good to catch up with. But faux show, So.
Yeah, I've got a hotel booked. I'll see a bit closer to the time.
Fair. We just bought the tickets.
No?
Yeah.
I haven't bought anything yet because I've got
shows going the butthole,
and obviously, but like you guys were saying, it's the money of it all. It just accumulates. It all turns.
Oh, so expensive!
It's thousands, isn't it? And people are like, "Oh, do you win any money?"
I win money, but I don't.
Yeah, you're like, no money. We're not in it for the money, are we? We're doing
that's it. But did you see the comment section on that post though? Fucking exploded.
But the same thing happened, didn't it? To wasn't Nathan D'Asher was invited, then withdrawn, and then re-invited or something like that, wasn't he? That was that last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So I think he had it. I don't know.
He had issues getting into the States, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, but we talking UK Arnold.
I'm not even.
Huh? Yeah, he competed at the UK Arnold, didn't he?
Weird. Very strange.
Yeah. Very strange.
I can't even remember who won the men's open.
Wasn't it Nathan? Yeah.
It was Nathan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Samson was second.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah.
What? So, with you coming off the back of that, Sarah, like I know you've done your check-in today, but what's your
Yeah,
go through your check-in
so
and...
checked in with Tom yesterday. I've dropped a little bit of weight again this week, but I think that's just, I don't know why I can't seem to hold weight at the moment. It just seems to be like an accumulate. I think my training seems to have kicked into like another gear. It just seems to have reached like, it's just recently been really hard. Like Connor's been pushing me like second to none. And I don't know whether it's mixture of training really, really hard, sweating a fuck ton, and just being super busy at work, because I've got like a stretch of 7 days at work at the moment. So it's probably just like that with the accumulation of huge steps. So I dropped off a little bit of weight, but we're having a deload next week because like I just started feeling so like sore everywhere. You know, when even like the body part you haven't trained for a while still hurts. Like I'm at that point where like, yeah, like when my knees are sore, my fucking elbows are sore.
Does anyone else get like swollen hands? Like my hands get tight and my forearms get tight, and it's like I can't make a fist like I can normally. That's when I know I really need to do that.
Obviously, I was going to hold off until I started prep for the Arnolds, but obviously that's changed. So we're just going to deload now, because obviously when I had my bloods done last week, I think my creatine kinase was like over 2,500, and Tom was like, "That's normally a good sign that you need to just back off a bit." So we're going to obviously back off for a whole 7 days, which to be honest, like I'm kind of looking forward to, because I can just come home and like sleep, because I just feel tired all the time. Like obviously it's just like an off-season tired, not like what you're experiencing, Debs, but like it's just like ugh. Like when I train it's good, but like outside of that I'm just fucking tired all the time.
Still allowed to get tired in the off season,
yeah,
you're still
that's
pushing
it.
fucking hard. Like
I feel more energized through dropping my calories down than
I felt like that when I first started prep. I felt like every day was like my energy was so low. I was dragging my ass around. I just felt like I had a giant leech on my back, and I felt the more like a transition into pulling the calories and stuff down. Like Rose said, I felt so much better. Actually, like I said, I felt more energized. I didn't feel as bad. Don't get me wrong. I still get days now where I'm like hanging out my ass, but you know, you get up and you go and do it, don't you? And like I'll message you guys, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking hanging today, and you're like, yeah, push through it. They're the days that matter, and you have like
for sure. That's it. So yeah, deload next week. Still sort of staying on training day calories for 5 days, and then a couple of days rest day calories, and then prep now will start 16th of July. So we'll just kind of like just chill out until then, and then obviously that's for the legions. So Romania's after.
You're not going to Romania anymore.
Yeah, so it's legions first, and then Romania for 3 weeks.
WPD podcast on tour.
Yeah.
I've already got the time off.
We're going to be fatties then. I'm going to follow you around eating
Okay.
cookies.
That'd be good. Now I'm excited.
There'll
Yeah, but like, where's
crumbs
Debs
behind us?
Just a little trail of crumbs. Yeah.
Can you hear the chomping?
We're just gonna nip to Wendy's a minute in the airport.
So that's kind of like the plan. Obviously had bloods done and stuff like that, so I need to see you, Ro, for some bloodletting, just because my I sent you my bloods, didn't I? Both of you. Yeah, so like I spoke to Tom about hemoglobin and my MCHC, and he says they're not necessarily anything to worry about, but they are elevated, and it was just the iron that he was super worried about. I'm going to move to the sofa because I'm sat on the table.
Oh wow, that was
yeah.
So and obviously it was just my iron that he was a little bit worried about. So he just said maybe get some bloodletting done and then go from there. It might be better, but yes. So that's the plan.
I had the same issue in off season with my
It might be obviously not to go into too much detail, but I'm not obviously regular. So like it might be to do with my monthly. What are you both looking at?
Well, considering how pale Debs is, it's kind of, you know, you shouldn't be iron deficient.
No, I'm not. I'm high in iron, like really high.
Did you do some bloodletting then?
Really high. Ray's gonna have to drain me, yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
I'll pass out.
For the record, guys and girls, this isn't like I'm actually able to do this as my qualification as a paramedic, but I've also started working for evals doing bloods and bloodletting. I haven't actually done any work for them yet, but I have a load of their stuff to do work for them.
It's a blood draining party.
Which is crazy exciting because,
That is cool.
Get your bloods done, y'all.
Yes. It's well worth having them done, though, isn't it? Like, especially if you're competing.
Tom got really pissed off with me because last time I got mine done, I managed to get my GP to do them because I was skint. I'd come back from Hungary and I was skint, and I sent them across to him, and he was like, "Mate, I can't read these," which is like I can read them, but I don't necessarily know how they translate to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So I should have just sent him my values. That probably would have been an easier thing for him.
Just go into your GP and like, I want my bloods done.
Well, what was it? It was. I was very fatigued at the time.
Help me.
Yeah.
Very fatigued. Don't know why I'm so fatigued. Nothing to do with the fact I was eating
a few
dust.
specks of dust here and then.
Yeah. But it is it was also to do with I knew what to say to get my bloods done. I'm trying to be very careful here. But obviously there is that element of lack of regularity that also helped as well. But there was also a little bit of judgment.
Let's not talk about the banana in the room, shall we?
Everyone always says that.
No, I categorically do not.
Every time I went to the doctors, they're like, even when I wasn't using back a while ago now, they're like, "So are you taking anabolics?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually not. No, I think I had a stomach pain or something. Like, are you using anabolics?" I said no. I said if I was using anabolics and I looked like this, I'd be fucking disappointed, very disappointed. And he was like, "Oh, okay." But I mean, if they ask me, I still say no sometimes, just because as soon as you say yes, everything you've got an issue with is down to anabolics. And then you're like, well, actually, no, it's not. It's like, that's completely something. That's
it, exactly. Just
I had a physio referral through work for my shoulder niggle, which isn't too bad today.
Bloody hell, all the range of motion.
Yeah, it was to about here until recently. I don't know why I did it with the other arm. Anyway, and we chatted through, and they were like, "Oh, do you exercise?" I was like, "Yeah, I exercise quite regularly." Catched them about.
Like, "Look at me, Stephen," and then just flex. Do I work out? Oh, was it phone?
Yeah, through work. So she's there going, so do you exercise? And I was like, yeah. Do you exercise regularly? Yeah, like, a couple of times a week. And they were like, chatting, talking about like when I get the pain and that sort of thing. And she was like, now, you're going to have to lay off the gym until you get your physio referral through.
Sure.
I'm like, I felt like saying to her, I've got 3 other limbs and a back. There is a lot one can do in the gym. If the pain starts here, then there's a lot I can do to there with no pain. And like these things.
They don't understand that though, do they? They're like, as soon as there's something wrong with you, you've got an issue, don't exercise. And then if you need, like, oh, hello, I'm overweight, exercise. I can't do, don't exercise.
Oh, no. That's when they give you the pills. Yeah, like, you can get that, what is it, LP Express or whatever it is from Boots. Go and have some of that. That's what you need to lose weight.
You're like, excuse me, I'm constipated. Then take a poo. I can't.
Here's a tablet. Instead of increasing your fluid intake, doing something constructive with your diet, moving around a little bit more instead of stagnating on the sofa. No. Have a Dulcolax. See you later.
Yeah.
Try not to shit yourself on the way home.
That's why people are like, take painkillers, take painkillers. And I'm like, no, I will live through the pain.
Yeah, but that just masks it. It doesn't fix it. It doesn't do shit.
No.
Doesn't do shit.
I don't know.
Are you?
I'm a paracetamol popper. If I have a hurty, I take a paracetamol. Yeah, like a good healthcare professional.
Like
I won't go and see the doctor, but I'll take a painkiller. My intestines have fallen out. Get me the paracetamol, I'll be fine.
I won't take stuff like paracetamol and stuff.
I'm the same.
Like, nope,
I'm so stubborn with it as well.
I will fight
Bleats is like, take paracetamol. I'm like, suck my dick.
I'm not taking it. I'm trying to find.
Fucking rude.
No, I'm not being rude. I'm looking for something on my phone.
It's like, guys.
Guys.
I was gonna say something. I can't remember now. Oh, is anyone else fucking the chafe has been real this week, right? Is anyone? Oh yeah.
No, because I've got smaller. I have found though that now my glasses fall off my face a little bit more easily. Because what was it?
Yes.
Was it when we were training? And like I was in somehow, and I couldn't do anything about it, and my glasses were like, I want to do that. Oh no, it wasn't. It was T-bar rows last week. Put my face forward, and they sort of did that.
I was going to say mine's not.
Which makes me feel dizzy.
I'm sorry.
Just sweating. Which is sweating during prep's quite nice. You get the vein.
I've never used
I never liked your Himbine sweats.
I'm not using it now. I had it last year. It's horrible.
It was in for my prep for the British. It was in AD Shreddable. And I used to take that and then sweat for like 3 hours profusely, like cold sweat. It was horrible.
It's just
my lips were deadly.
It's African tree bark.
God, imagine those trees. You could just go and pick some bark off it. Couldn't you? Yeah.
Up to run and go. Just gnaw on it like a little beaver. Yeah, I've not taken it this time. I've still got some left from last time. I ain't touched it.
Does it really
I take
crap?
What I'm meant to take. I don't want any more of it. It can make you feel sick as well, can't it, Rode? It make you feel sick.
It actually made me projectile vomit a couple of times. Yeah.
Then she scraped it back up because she was like, my gains, and then ate it.
I got a straw and sucked it out the toilet.
I walked right into one.
Oh, talking of vomit, I asked Tom a while ago whether he's going to do another Team Evo meetup, and I think he's going to do one at the end of the year, so we can all get drunk together.
Yeah!
I'm going to be that person. I would love that, but I'm going to be that person if there's any type of buffet or table every time I'm back there eating and everyone else is drinking. I'm back there eating. I'm wearing a nice dress. I've got crumbs down me. I've got a gut going on because it's all protruding out.
Oh,
I'm like,
that.
Yeah.
I'll probably be... You don't dance, was that?
No, I do dance, but if you go, Deb, do you want to dance? I'll be like, no, I'm here hanging with the food. I won't move from it.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt the conversation with the food.
Yeah, but how dare you? How dare you? We've got a good start going off here.
Yeah.
Me and the volleybons were getting it on.
There better be volleyball. What even are volleyball?
They're like those little pastry kind of shells that normally has like something in them. Like think salmon pate, something like that. Or cheese.
I don't think Tom would have those though, to be honest. I think Tom would probably be like,
here
are some snowballs.
When we did the thing last year, it was like sliders and shit like that, like little tiny beef burgers and stuff. It was good. It was at Revs. It was alright. Yeah.
I think I'd only just joined the team at that point.
I had as well.
Yeah, and my friend's wedding was like 3 days after.
I hope he does another one because it was a lot of fun.
I think it was being skint that stopped me, as well as being in a non-hormonal hole, like flat as a fucking pancake, and just social situations were very overwhelming back then.
What
So I
we
was
can
talking
do,
to Shell, and we were both like, "Should we
Shell
go? Should we
went
go?"
in the
And I
end,
think
yeah.
she did. She actually, I think she did go. But I was going to have to drive up and back in the day and have Ruby in the boot of the car as well.
What we can do though is get.
That's
some,
a great idea.
We can rent out somewhere together.
Yeah.
And then crawl back and just fetal position in some type of corner.
Yeah, I felt a bit bad.
Throw a blanket over. Done.
Well, I've always managed to take my contacts out, take my makeup off.
Very skilled.
Put my pajamas
Normally,
on.
Take my clothes off, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just take my clothes off.
I think you don't, or you do.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been that paralytic that I've not taken my makeup off and cleaned my teeth. Honestly, no, I can't do it because the thing of it in the morning makes me feel sick. Your eyelashes all stuck together. You're like, it's like shit. And last time I got drunk, there was at my friend's wedding, and I came home. But I literally had 6 drinks, and then I started sobering up, and I got to like 12, 13. I hadn't drunk in 6 years. This was last year. I was like, I'm not drinking anymore. Got home, went downstairs, and there was no one home. Like, I got dropped off, and I found a Belgian bun downstairs. I was like, I'll have that. So I came upstairs, took everything, I got into bed. I was really enjoying this Belgian bun because I just finished my cut. So I ate half of it, and then I've fallen asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. Woke up, and there was half a Belgian bun on the floor in the morning. I was like, I'm still gonna eat that. Like, so I picked it up. Yeah, what's happened? I've got to eat that.
Food. Oh, now I just fancy Belgian bun.
Oh, that's so good. I said to you, didn't I, that have you ever been to an Olenstein? Have you been to one of those Danish pastry shops?
No.
Is that the one in London?
Fucking hell, go to
that
one.
you took?
They're so good. Yeah, so I think they might be elsewhere, but they're definitely in London. But you go and they've got fresh bread, fresh tiger bread, all just intoxicating smell of fresh baked goods. You walk in, and it's like, oh, I'm making myself salivate here.
I walked past Tesco's the other morning before work, walking Ruby, getting my steps in. This is at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and Tesco's are cooking the raspberry jam donuts.
Oh.
It's like, Tesco's, I friggin' hate you right now.
Do you guys find when you're in prep as well? I mean, this might be an obvious thing, but your senses, your smell, and your you can just smell, and almost through the smell, you can taste it.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
I get hypersensitive to smells.
Sounds.
Yeah. You're hypersensitive to sounds all year round, though.
True.
I went in the toilet with her once, put hand dryer on. It went wee, and as soon as it started, I heard a shuffle, and I was like, I know Romana's gone, and she was out. I was like, she's out. She's gonna have to wait until I dry my hands.
I can't. I hate the noise. I just hate it.
It's really annoying to be fair, and they don't even dry it
as well. That triggers me.
What does?
Lawnmowers.
Well, how about
those pneumatic drills?
Leaf blower?
Yes.
Strimmer?
Yep.
Oh, drones are horrendous. Drones? They are. Noisy.
Probably. Can't say I've heard one.
They annoy me because sometimes you can hear them, but you can't see them, and then you get really paranoid. You're like, is someone actually like hovering over me and watching me or something?
Don't tell me.
There's one around here. Every Saturday they have it out around here, and I can't see it, but I can hear it. And I'm like, I feel like I've gone crazy. I can hear a fly. Like,
oh dear.
I'm very, very easily triggered.
You got. I was gonna say you are easily triggered. You got triggered by my high bun that I wore in the gym.
Oh yeah, that's fucking awful.
I don't give a shit though. I literally
that sounds awful. It's not that you didn't look awful. It's just you looked so much like the fucking
Beetlejuice.
What is it? The Grinchy thing.
Oh
no.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, who's the dude that write Green Eggs and Ham, that sort of stuff? Dr. Zeus.
Oh.
You look like one of the characters. I don't know. It just reminded me of that, and that triggers me as well.
Fabulous.
I just have a lot of idiosyncrasies.
Dear me.
Fabuloso. But yes, I get to that point. Even now, I just can't. you get to prep, and I'm like, I can't be bothered to put like I can't be bothered to put makeup
I'm not
on.
even in prep and I can't bother to put makeup on.
I can't be asked to do it like my hair. I haven't washed up for about 4 or 5 days. Yeah.
Yes.
Can't be bothered. I don't have the time.
Sarah, everything you're saying is what I do normally.
Not on.
I'm not on prep.
Yeah,
I wash my hair maybe once a week if it's lucky.
Disgusting. Yeah, but I mean, when you're doing loads of cardio, loads of steps, you're sweating all the time. If I wash my hair,
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
sweat, it'd be
that's it.
so dry and horrible. I mean, who am I trying to bloody impress as well? Like, I'm just trying to get shredded to shit, and then I'll have my glow up on show day, and then me. I do my own. I do my own makeup and my own hair.
I do my own hair.
Yeah.
I did my own makeup for Budapest, which
Well,
was
last
quite pleased with, actually.
I had my makeup done. I had my makeup done time before last. I've had them done for PCA shows, but time before last I had them done. I did the British one on my own. I did that last year, and the regional I had someone do it. And my God, if I wasn't due to go on stage now, I would have ripped that woman's face off. Honestly, she's like, this is my first time at a bodybuilding show doing makeup for bodybuilders, right? So that just goes off the back of that. We're bodybuilders. We're literally there to be looked at and subjective to what we look like, and that we care what we look like. So at that point, I had like a few spots here, stuff like that. And she was like, "Oh no, you got a bit of acne. That looks really sore. Oh," and she was going on, and I was thinking, I'm not asking you to tell me what's wrong with my face. Cover it. I've paid you 80 quid or whatever it is. Cover it up. Sort it out.
Yeah.
I didn't say that to her because I'm not that rude, but that's what I was thinking. So she did that, and then I looked at my face, and I said, just make sure, it's like a few shades lighter than this because I can't look that dark, so I was quite dark. So I looked at it, and it's like she just it's like she got some foundation, smarmed it all over my face. She did a really dark eye on me as well, which I didn't ask for. I was like, I look like someone's got 2 piss holes in the snow. Someone's smarmed mud all over my face. I said, can you give me some contour? I said, I need, my eyes were black here. I said, can you give me some concealer under here to lighten it up? I said, and then just contour my face. And she was like, I don't know if I've got time. I said, well, you have got time because I paid you, I said, a lot of money. She did it in about 15 minutes.
What show was that for, Debs?
It was awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it on the
What
podcast,
year?
but it was for...
okay. I think I know the show.
Last year. Yeah. It wasn't good. It was not good. I wasn't happy, and that's the first time I let someone do it for me, and I was like, nope, going back to doing it myself now.
Better than Kelly's artist who just did not turn up. Well, she
that was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they need to be there earlier. I mean, most makeup artists get there at like 4 or 5 in the morning, ready to go. Like some of them.
Yeah. Cue me and Kelly's other half getting in a car and driving to Sainsbury's to try and get false eyelashes, and then Babs, Kelly's coach, completely saved the day.
Did she do it for her?
No, she managed to find somebody else that got to the venue to be able to do it.
Bad, really, isn't it? I mean, they should be. I know they get stuck in traffic, but for shows, especially with athletes, you should be there early.
Men have it so easy, right?
Do.
Like, the last thing you want to do when you've dieted for 20 odd weeks or so is have somebody faff with your face. Like, just,
and they're talking to you as well, and you're like, shut up.
Paint my face.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Paint it.
And I hate the feeling of it as well.
Oh, so it feels like, especially if you're doing summer shows, it just feels like it's melting off your
do you mind the small talk when you're getting tanned? Because obviously you're ass fuck naked, and you're just like...
Oh, I'm normally dancing.
You don't mind
I'm normally being a dick.
Yeah, I'm normally pretty good with tans, but with the tan girls on that bronze team, I've known they've been doing them for ages. They've been doing. I know one of the girls been doing it for years. So she always calls me. She's like, "Oh, hi," and they're so nice. But I've had other tan teams, and I've been like, "No, I don't really want to have this conversation when I'm spreading my arse cheeks and getting sprayed." No.
In Poland, you got tanned with the men. There was no segregation. And there were no socks either. No socks. 0 socks.
I bet that was a very skimpy and very small.
To be honest, you're just so like, you know what it's
Yeah.
like. You're just like,
It's like when you're walking with the women, it's like,
cock.
oh, it's just tits everywhere.
Did it look
yeah.
like?
But they're not
Did it-
tits, really, are they? They're either like pancakes or tennis balls in socks.
Did it look? Did some of these the men's?
Excuse me, let me
lower-
just scoop them up out the way so you can tan my abs.
Did the men's lower regions look like sad little baby elephant trunk?
I can't really remember, to be honest. I think I was so fucking just on another planet by that point that, yeah.
But do you find that like when you're getting tanned, there's like obviously you'll have first timers there sometimes and they're really self conscious, and I'm just there like, yeah, I feel like I'm clothed. I literally don't give a shit.
Yeah, zero shit's given.
From modelling, like you're stood there butt naked, getting changed in and out of outfits all the time. So I just don't give a shit. But I mean, I'm stood there and I'm like, yeah, having a conversation. Then you're stood there and everyone goes quiet for a bit. And it's almost like you do an assessment. You're like, I'm not looking at like that, but I'm like, is their physique better than mine? Then and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, right, who's got the best boobs in here? Yeah, now. Like,
I've zero fucks given. I've got my arse out in the middle of central London before.
For work?
You don't know. After a while, you just don't care, do you?
The night London Bridge kicked off, we had to get kitted up, and I literally just found parked up north. It's like Monument, just parked up there, and had to put my coveralls on, which involves taking my uniform off. So yeah, that's why I always wear a sports bra at work. It's far easier to just if you have to. I was waiting for the next day, my bottom to be plastered all over Sky News or something like that. And it's like paramedic strips off while London's in chaos, something like that.
Yeah, no, I just wondered because like it was the first time I got tanned with like the other women last year, and I was like, not really. I don't, for some reason I wasn't expecting it to be like so fucking naked, and I was just like, I like saw Kitty that like there, and I was like, fuck me, obviously she looks good, and then I was like, fuck me, she's so naked, and then obviously I just looked around, and I was like, no, I've got to be naked, and I was like trying to take off my like pants and that, like I can't bend over because everyone will see my asshole, like kind of thing.
Stop it! Here we come.
I literally
balls.
Girls walk in, they're really timid, and obviously first thing they're like that. So I'm like, right, I'm gonna be the one here, and I'm gonna make everyone feel at home. And I'm like,
where are the tanning guns?
And then you stand there. You stand there with the fans blowing up your butt, all going through. And you're like, and you know, like you're there dancing. You got nothing else to do. You've got to do this and do a wiggle and And
really,
it's one of my favourite parts of it, actually, to be honest, is getting the tan on.
The smell of tan's amazing.
I love the smell. The smell makes me excited.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
But I wouldn't. I don't know. The thing that annoys me about show day is the stagnation. Like, I'm not used to sitting still for that long and not doing anything.
Especially if
the
they
day
run
before.
behind as well.
Sorry?
Especially if they're running behind as well, and you're like, oh my god, another hour sat down. You just want to get on stage, don't you? You're like, I want to get on now. Yeah.
To be fair, the 2 pro shows I've done
I can imagine
started when they
pretty
were
well run
due to
those
start.
pro shows. That's what I've had.
Yeah, and like the one in Poland was like if you get a chance to do a show in Poland, pros out there, do it. It was fucking like pro debut. I'm stood on stage, the curtains down, we're all blacked out. The curtains come up, but we're just silhouettes with this purple lighting behind us, and then the lights come up, and we're all just stood on stage.
Video, that was
fucking. I've got the video somewhere. It was just.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll pop it up on Insta again.
It sounds brilliant.
It was really cool. Really, really cool. Hungary was all right. That was the standard walk on the stage, do your bit, walk off the stage. And like the Poland show was in an actual sort of theatre, whereas the Hungary show was in a sports hall. So it was like this pop-up stage. They also had quite a lot of light LED lighting behind. And I didn't get any pro photos from that, but the ones I have seen, it kind of made the athletes look a little bit
Well,
weird.
it was funny
'cause
actually. I
it
was
was so
speaking
bright
to
behind
Scarlett at Scarlett Hollins at, is it Hollins? Is that her name? Yeah.
Yeah.
About her
Yeah.
Scarlett,
Or Holland.
about her bikini, and she,
Scarlett, do you have
about
an
her
S or no
bikini, she
S?
said, "Oh, what colour's your bikini going to be for your shows?" She was like, "Oh, I don't know. We're waiting for the backdrop to be like to know what the backdrop is." And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Well, if you have a bikini the same colour as a backdrop, you're not going to stand out." And I was like, "Oh my god, like that's such a good point." Like for the show that we were at, for Kelly's show, Ro, if you had a blue bikini because the background was blue, you wouldn't stand out. And like there was obviously a few turquoises and a few pinks, and they stood up
Yeah.
really nicely. But obviously the blues not so much because there was a blue background. And I was like, I've never fucking even thought of that, because obviously Scarlett Arnold's and it's black and red, so you don't really want a red
No.
bikini or a black bikini. Obviously, you're not really gonna have a black bikini anyway. But yeah, black
I've had a
like
black
my
bikini
soul.
because it's black like my soul.
Yeah, didn't even think about that.
Mm.
But
That was the first one Miss Bikini
Gold
Fitness made
digger,
for me,
eh?
actually. Black and gold. Mm.
can I just also say that the Miss Bikini posing suit that you sent is fucking amazing, and it's Tom was like, when I checked in, he goes, "Oh my god," he goes, "That's a really loving new suit, mate. Loving it, looking really good." Because obviously he's used to me having a bikini, an actual bikini top, and then whatever underwear I can find that shows stuff, and they're
I
all
picked mine up
massive
yesterday.
now
I
as
need to try it
well.
on.
So
Yeah, haven't tried mine on yet. No, I need to.
I tried it on.
I will.
I'm excited to see it. You can
Fuck
use
yeah,
it
he
for your
did. Tried to get
check-ins.
You
Connor
so
in it.
know that Reggie tried that on.
Yeah, probably.
Reggie's a Frenchie.
And he flossed in it as
Reggie's
well.
had a really itchy nose. He's been itching like mad recently, though. Has Ruby been itching?
It's hay
Yeah, he had a
fever,
really
and
itchy
yeah,
nose
they
the
just
other
don't
day.
like it. Rubes is struggling. Bless her.
Oh,
We need to
do.
work on when we're going to have the Frenchies episode.
We do. It probably won't be within the next
You're
3 to
2
5
weeks out
weeks
now,
because
Debs,
obviously
aren't
I'll be
you?
competing. But I'm 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, because you're
and
not doing the
6
same show
days
as
now.
Shell, are you?
We could.
Some reason
No,
I
I
thought,
can't.
yeah, because you
It's
originally
joining
were,
with.
weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bastards.
Yeah, and then they moved it.
I bloody like.
No, I bloody know, right? Bloody annoying.
I mean, do we have to have the Frenchies together, or just?
Yeah.
This is probably a conversation for off screen, to be honest. Isn't it? Hi, everybody. Listen to how we plan our podcasts.
We will plan it. We will plan a Frenchie a podcast, and then
Yeah.
we'll just leave them for an
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah,
go off
just
and do a
film
thing, and then come back and see what they've been doing. I had those questions, right? So I put that little question box up. And you know
Yes.
from before, like you can go back in your archives and look at the questions.
Fucking dick.
For some strange
'cause
reason, it's not letting me
it
do
knows
that
you're
today.
tired, so
I know.
yeah.
It just wants to mess with me today, big time.
She's
It's
He's
testing
so
my
floppy
patience.
and warm.
Like a little. Do you know what I always say to my dogs when they've got a lovely smell? I'm like,
Mm.
oh, I go to shake 'em, like, oh, you're like a fresh little biscuit straight out the oven. They just smell lovely. Yeah, it won't let me see the questions. Hang on.
Rubes looks really unhappy about that.
How dare you?
Where you find that? I'm sorry. I need to pee.
Bye.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Well, I've got it anyway.
Don't talk. You make me drink.
But the question box anyway,
Yeah.
we can come up with our own stuff. I thought would be just something different of like common stuff that people ask you during prep. So
Yes, you did.
I think I
Yeah.
voice noted you guys that bloke, didn't I, in the gym? So I'll just obviously let people on here know. So this was at the 5-week out point, and he goes, "Oh, you dieting for something?" And you know, at that point, I'm in the gym. I've just finished training up, and I'm looking. Obviously, I look very lean now, and I'm very. This is worse in person. And I'm like, yeah, I've got a show, 5 weeks time. And he goes, "Oh, I bet you're not looking forward to that, are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, you're looking forward to that, not eating, and you
Yeah.
want to get it over and done with, don't you?" I was like, "No, not at all." And it's those kind of comments. I'm kind of asking people like, why do you think that it's almost like they think it's
Yeah,
like a punishment or you're being forced into something that you don't want to do. It's weird, isn't it? Like, I don't understand where that sort of concept comes from. And the thing is, as well, it's not like he didn't understand. He's there at a bodybuilding gym, and he's also telling me how his missus has competed 3 times, and she went through this, and I'm like, well, Romana, God damn it, mate, just sit down, yeah.
Sorry.
That's right. But she's literally going through like 3, like, oh, she's done 3 shows, and just telling you about it. He goes, but they're like local shitty ones as well, and you're just like, what are you talking about? Why? And it's like they'll then offload what they think about bodybuilding and how much they dislike it to you.
Yeah, and you're like, shut the fuck
why
up,
do
I
you
don't
think
care.
I want to know this? Yeah, but we just we're just talking about the question boxing hasn't worked, but stuff that people say to you on prep that kind of
maybe we started that, didn't we? We went off on a complete and utter tangent.
That's what these podcasts are about, though, isn't it?
True. Ruth, come in.
But stuff that you've had said to you that's
oh, you've got some muscles, haven't you?
Or
do you go
like
to
you
the
were saying,
gym?
Debs,
No, mate,
you're
I
like,
just fucking woke up like this.
Are you dieting? And you're like fucking 2 weeks out, and you're like, no, I just choose to look this lean all the time. What the fuck do you think? Fucking twat.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
You're so lucky to look like that.
I couldn't sit on anything for 10 days before my show. My ass was so lean. Shut up, Karen.
I had a goddamn walnut for a
about
buck.
the bog roll, I lost up that fucking thing.
They will literally say that though. Or if you're like this, you're covered up, and they see your face, and they're like, oh, they don't lose any more off your face, mind. Oh, what did you think? I'll sit down and have a talk with my body and be like, mate, don't lose any more off the face.
That's the prep equivalent to don't get any bigger, will you? You're not going to get any bigger, are you?
Yeah.
Says Derek, who I've known for like 18 months, that I occasionally say hi to in Tesco's. It's like, yeah, mate, because I value your opinion.
I said this to someone the other day. It was a bloke at a different gym again. He's like, yeah, you look good now, but don't get any bigger, okay?
Really?
I said, right. And then he goes, you're not going to get any bigger, are you? I said, right, let me ask you a question now with your question. Do you think I wake up in the morning, I think, fuck me, whatever his name is, I'm really concerned about him being concerned about me getting bigger in the morning. Like, that's my goal of the day, to worry about what he thinks about me. I said, do you think that's my prerogative in the morning, like when I wake up? And he's like, well, no, I don't think so. I said, well, don't ask me a stupid question like that then. I said, I'm not asking you about your life. I said, are you happy with the way you look and what you're doing? He's like, well, yeah. I said, well, there you go then. I said, that's your answer. Yeah, and it gets worse. The deeper you get into prep, it gets worse. Because people are like, oh, are you feeling all right? You're a bit grumpy today, aren't you? You're not as talkative.
Anything okay? Really
it's always to do with your face. It's like my sister. Obviously, she only saw me. Last time she saw my diet face was like 2018, and I wasn't nearly as lean as I was this like last year. And she was like, "Yeah, it just really hit me when I see your face." And I'm like, "I already know it's lean. Please don't make me sound like I'm ugly." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets you a little bit.
Why is it okay to say these things? Why we can't say, "Oh, mate, you've got really fat, haven't you?" You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that. But yeah, people can comment on how muscular I am willy nilly, and that's absolutely fine. Whether it is whether it's offensive, derogatory, has some sort of sexual undertone. Why is that fine?
Yeah, it's literally like you get that thing of, oh, don't body shame, don't fat shame, don't do this, and no one should say anything to anyone. If that person's happy, they're not causing harm to someone else. Fair enough. I mean, but like you said, you wouldn't go up to someone like, don't get any fatter. Like, you are fat enough.
Imagine,
mate, your cellulite. Like, there's something going on with that. Your ass looks like a fucking dimpled sponge.
No.
But you wouldn't know. You just would not say it. You might think it, but we all have, like you said, we all have
I look at you and think, fuck, she's old.
We all have that, don't we? But you're like, holy damn. Holy damn.
Shut up, fetus.
Oh dear.
Yes. The baby of the group.
Muscular maturity over here. Just you remember that.
However, you guys do quite often comment on my pigment, which I'm quite proud of. And
That's the thing,
Tom
though.
does comment on my
Debs,
pigment.
it's just because we're jealous about because we've just
Yes.
got this red
It's true.
tone no matter what we do.
And I'm just still white.
White.
I'm almost the same colour of this top, just almost white. White.
Yeah,
But
I need to put more greens next to my face because they're
The
meant to neutralise the red.
that looks good. That looks very good.
Well,
Actually, I think that's more
minty fresh.
Minty.
mint
fresh.
rather than green.
Minty fresh.
So, on the back of stupid things people say to you on
Mhm.
prep, what about stupid things you've done on prep with Prep Brain? Because I've got a few.
I've got one. My best one, my favourite one is, and I wasn't even this deep into prep. Not this prep. This is maybe a couple of preps ago. I sliced I sliced a banana up into a cup of tea.
That's nothing. That's fucking small fry. That's small fry.
What have you done? Give me one of yours.
Put my iPad in the washing machine.
Fucking up.
And actually washed it.
Yep.
My God.
Yep. I put petrol in my diesel van and drove it for half an hour. And I phoned my mate Andy the first time it stalled on a fucking roundabout. Basically, it was fine in fourth gear, drop it out of fourth and it would stall. So he jump-started me about 3 times before I actually thought, fuck this, got the RAC out. And it wasn't until we got back to his mum's and I started talking through what I'd done that I remembered picking up the green handle rather than the black handle. So 150 quid later. Yeah. Smashed my shower screen as well. Did that. I came back from a night shift, moved the shower screen to clean my teeth. It kind of bounced off the bath back onto the sink and just.
That's all those games doing that.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed.
My pride and joy was after the prep where I won my pro card when I completely and utterly forgot to renew my car insurance. Got pulled over on the way home from a night shift that I was already 2.5 hours late off of. 6 points and a 300 quid fine.
Brilliant. That's the best one. That's one of the best ones.
No way.
That's
I can't
can you
even
top any of those, Sarah?
think like. I don't know. I don't tend to do anything like that. I just tend to buy a lot of shit, like a lot of stupid. Like I honestly must have 10 tubs of protein. At least wouldn't even stop me. She'd be like, treat yourself. So, probably every fucking flavour of Perform Whey that was ever graced this earth in my spare room. And I just kept buying shit. Really?
There's some about Perform Whey flavours that I'm just like, just no. Like
I've
the key lime pie? What the fuck? Mint choc chip? Oh.
I've never tried any of them, to be fair.
I like the carrot cake and I like the cinnamon donut.
Are they prep friendly though? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to buy some of them then.
I haven't even thought. I never look whether. How do you know if protein's prep friendly?
Yeah. Well, if you've got normally you go for ISOs, right? Or you go with the ways that are really low.
Prep, obviously, Fibre Labs
in carbohydrates.
Actually, I wasn't even sponsored by them, so I can say that. Cheapskate.
I just buy the cheapest.
I hate the thing is if you have a cheap protein powder, you can taste it's cheap. It just
I don't mean cheap like that. I mean cheap as in I'll go for a brand, but I will buy the cheaper.
Oh, okay, I get you.
I'm not talking like I'm not going to bulk powders and buying protein or my protein.
From the start of bodybuilding, I used to go for bulk powders, and then obviously as you progress and get a bit more like dollar behind you, it's worth investing in the best quality ones. Like they taste better and they don't give you goddamn gut ache.
Yeah.
And then again, if the gut's gonna fall out, they're pretty good.
The one thing I did like from bulk powders was they did like pre-flavored porridge with protein.
I never tried that.
Yeah, that was quite good. Their chocolate raspberry was nice.
I know going back to the buying stuff. So last year, I went through a phase of buying jackets, like leather jackets. I think I've spoken about that in my story. I have every fucking color of a leather jacket. The time before that, I bought loads of handbags. This year I've not bought anything. What have I actually bought? I go on Vinted and buy a couple of bits. But I've been waking up now. This week in particular, I've been waking up at 4 a.m. wide awake, and then I'm like, oh, what should I do? I'm too tired to read. I'm too tired to watch TV. I'll go onto Amazon and see the deals of the day. I'll do this. I'll do that, and I'll look at this random shit. I'll be like, oh, it's the most random contraptions.
I don't need one, but I want one.
Yeah, it's the most random crap, and I'll be like, oh, only $2.50, okay.
Yeah.
And then by the time you know it, you spend like 30 quid on shit you don't even want, and it arrives at the house.
At least
and you're
you
like,
finally
what
got
is
your
it? And you're
travel
like,
mug,
oh, yeah.
Fab.
What am I gonna do with that? Absolutely nothing. I know. That was worth the 45 minutes.
Oh, it's fucking so funny.
I think I missed the majority of that conversation.
Oh, I can't explain it in the way that you did it.
Sarah
It
can
was so
explain
funny
it if
when
she
you
wants.
did it.
Stop eating your feet.
Long story short, I went to buy some coffee pods purely before the promotion of the travel mug. Put the code in, it didn't work, so I spent 45 minutes on hold on a phone call. After 15 minutes waiting on a chat, I put an espresso, and she was telling me she didn't know how to put the code in, and I end up losing my shit and just saying, get the mug, put it in the box with the coffee that I've ordered and send it off, and she wasn't having it, so I was like, I expect it to be in there when my coffee arrives, otherwise I'm not going to put a reoccurring order and put the phone down. And it turned up.
I need to get on this because I've got. Is that an espresso subscription?
Yes.
Oh.
It's worth doing
I
as
did
well.
have a travel mug, but I don't know what I did with it.
It's worth doing. That travel
Oh,
mug is
it does look good.
It's like my holy grail.
Yeah, break it.
And that's how you know you're nearing 30 when you spend 45 minutes on hold after.
Yeah, but Nespresso's.
Don't worry, it gets better from then. You just avoid phone calls altogether once you hit 35.
With the reoccurring order,
imagine.
so you literally it's just the same order every month. Can you change it?
You can change it, so you get. I'll show people watching. So what you do, right, guys? You get the Nespresso app, yeah. Let this bad boy load up. You got an Nespresso app. You go on there. You go into your account, yeah.
I've got all that.
You go into my reoccurring orders, so it'll load up, and you can go in and change it. So I've ordered like loads of different ones, and it basically I've ordered like espresso shots and different flavor ones. But I want more of the espresso shots because they're really nice. So I'm going to put in more of those and take some out. But yeah, you can change it. It's really good.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
It's good, isn't it?
Apart from I keep forgetting to put in a monthly order because I basically overestimated the amount of coffees I drink per day.
I've got like the
because I wanted the nicer machine.
You got like the old Nespresso machine. Oh, mine's got the big capsules.
Mine's got tiny capsules.
Yeah.
Shut up, Debs.
I've got the big capsules at
Mine's
work
got like. Hold on, let me take you on a journey.
I bet you any money. I bet you any money, guys, that Romana, that her capsules are like a moon face.
Idiot.
What have I done?
Yeah. These are my capsules.
They're
like, oh, no, there we go. I managed to open up Bixby because,
yeah, this is an espresso.
They are massive.
Yeah, I've got those at work.
Oh, yeah. Looks like a little hat, I like.
Look,
yeah.
my
little hat.
See, they're very small.
It's my flat. It's a mess.
Yes.
So that's my Nespresso machine.
Oh, you've got the Vertuo, which are these. I've got the original.
We're looking.
Are you looking?
Sorry.
Oh, it's because I've...
Holy shit, that's old.
I only got it in September. No, October.
It looks old.
Got a lobster glass too.
Can I see it again? Oh, I love that.
My mum got it for me. Because we have a running joke, me and my mum, that Ruby wants a pet lobster.
That's a great.
I think that would suit. You should get a lobster outfit and have her running around.
She's got bat wings. She's got bat wings already.
She needs a lobster outfit.
I will leave you to sort that.
Oh, okay, I will get it. I'm very much
Yes, that's.
able to do that. I need to go for wee guys and get steps in.
You read my mind.
I need to go to bed because I'm old and it's nearly my bedtime.
Did you say you're
Debs is bold.
Did you say I'm bold?
I'm old.
I thought you said I'm bold and it's my bedtime. I'm bold.
Old. Cloth ears. Thought I was meant to be the one that couldn't hear.
Yeah, even if you're.
Yeah, but I'm on prep.
Okay.
I'd use that as an
Fuck
excuse
off.
for everything.
What's that?
We didn't
Yeah,
do
even
an
when I'm
intro,
not-
did we?
It's
We
okay.
didn't do an intro.
Sometimes we don't need to do an intro.
No. We promised we will have a more up-together structured
Yeah.
podcast for you next time.
Yeah.
She
But
said.
I think these are. I think people like these as well.
Also,
I
because-
do like these, but I think we need to
You
do a
knocked the
sensible one
microphone
next.
on our last one.
We will.
You toss. Yeah. Yeah. Turn the microphone off your
yeah, you
foot.
a-hole.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see it? I left it in on purpose.
I never.
Prove it.
Do you know why she did it as well? She was trying to pick up something off the table with her feet.
Oh, yeah,
The
that was
microphone's
it.
fucked.
So, look, I've got dexterity in my toes. Bang! She's going to do it now and knock her phone off. Watch.
That was a
We'll
water
have
bottle.
Yeah.
We'll have that as a sign off for
Yes.
every podcast, is Romana picking up an object with her feet.
My toes.
Yeah.
Next, you have to pick up a chair.
That's a bit
Yeah,
ambitious.
it's a
I've got a
chair.
phone charger.
Cheryl Nath.
No, it has to be a chair next time.
The flexibility, though, for a bodybuilder.
I can't do that. But we'll
Yes.
we've got some guests, haven't we, got lined up as well, so we'll have a little bit more structure and stuff behind those. And
Yeah.
but yeah.
Likewise, if anyone has any bright ideas for any guests or anyone that thinks that they might like
Sure.
joining our
Very
lunacy,
true.
then feel free to pop us a
Yes.
DM on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
All right
We'll
then.
be happy to have you on.
Yeah.
Right, we will sign off there, and we shall say goodbye to everyone. Thanks. Follow, subscribe,
Ring the
like,
bell
comment,
and
all
shit.
of that. What do you call it, Sarah? All of that.
Ding, ding.
Is it? Ring the
Ring
bell and
the
shit.
bell.
Ding, ding.
Go.
Right. Over and out, turkey gobble.
Yeah, you sound like a wood pigeon.
It's a wood pigeon.
I can't gobble.
Can't
We know
gobble.
this.
Gobble.
Don't say you can't
I'm so
gobble.
I
That's
don't know how
rude.
you're feeling, Debs. Fucking. Jeez.
Gobble, gobble. Are we still recording?
There you are.
Now I'll stop now. See ya. Bye.
Ah.
Baby, I'm a different